you remember Publishers Clearinghouse? They used to come to people's homes, random people's homes, with a giant check for $1 million, and they would surprise you, and these winners would be filmed on TV at their doorstep winning. It was a total scam, I'm sure. We had gotten a letter in the mail saying that we won the Publishers Clearinghouse. I was 8 years old, living in my grandma's house with my mom and my sister. We were living in one room and sleeping, all three of us, on one double bed. I do not know how we survived. And I asked my mom, do you think we're gonna win? And we were taking a walk through the neighborhood just to get out of the crowded house. We dreamt of what $1 million would mean to us. The trips that we could take. She talked about the fact that she wouldn't have to work, and the things I could buy, and how much money that would be a month. It was very specific. And it was the first time that I had used my imagination in a way that actually felt like I was like crafting a real reality. Like I could feel it, I could see it, I could taste it. Now, I didn't actually win, but I did win in my mind. And you would not believe how happy it made me. I mean, we came back, and I went to bed on such a high, thinking of what that $1 million could do. $1 million to my little 8-year-old brain. I talked in another video last week about the difference between living in real life and living in fantasy mode. And I don't think that using your imagination means you're living in fantasy mode. Because using your imagination and feeling a future that you want and tasting it and seeing it and feeling the emotions that come along with that, that's how you create a vision. Now, if you stay in that, like I did when I was 8 years old, and just walk around the neighborhood and feel real good about it, but then go back to sleep in a double bed with my mom and my sister and never do one thing to make a change, that's fantasy mode, right? But if you can craft a vision that you can see, hear, feel, and taste, and then you start orienting your life around that vision, and you start making decisions and taking steps to get you to that vision, I don't think that's foolishness, and that definitely is not fantasy. That's using your imagination in the way that I think we were created to. There have been studies done by really reputable scientists, like one at Harvard, that talked about the power of our brain and how visualization can actually change things neurologically and physiologically in our body. How we imagine ourselves influences how we show up in the world, and how we show up in the world influences what we can achieve. And when we believe certain things are limitations, or when we believe they're not, that those things become true in our lives. So if I feel like I'll never have a profitable business, or I'll never get beyond this certain place in life, I'm actively creating that future. We're designers and creators of our lives, and I think that is a unique skill set that we've been given as humans, which is to imagine and then make it a reality. When we're trying to change our lives and do really big things and take really big steps and maybe do things that feel risky and make changes, much of what gets in our way is our previous disappointment, how things haven't worked out, the stories we tell ourselves, the limitations that we feel are real things. And how great would it be to be in that mindset of the 8-year-old you who could use your imagination so freely in ways to design your life? So I tell you that story about winning Publishers Clearinghouse because for me, I did. And it's a sweet reminder that I can live life and you can live life with a really vibrant imagination for what you want to see happen for yourself in the future.